NEC impositions of them. Today, he was one of the 8 out of 9 members of Labour's ruling NEC voting to prevent Burnham getting on the list of candidates to be MP in Gorton and Denton.
The ramifications through the entire movement are seismic. And here we have a superb politician in Andy Burnham with immense experience and popularity, and yet the Prime Minister, the leader of the Labour Party, has actually cast a vote against a Labour candidate who would undoubtedly have won this by-election.
Andy Burnham yesterday said he wanted to stand to prevent populists winning the seat. He tried to allay fears he was preparing to challenge Keir Starmer for the leadership if he became an MP. Some Labour members believe the best candidate has been blocked, others that it's right to nip a factional fight in the bud.
It's not about this factional warfare, it's about what's right, what's wrong. So really, we just need to be getting out there. We need to be campaigning for whoever that candidate is.
He's a member of the party, just like anybody else. Just because he's Andy Burnham and he's a mayor, it's wrong. He's been discriminated, basically. And just because somebody's scared, what are you scared of?
The by-election in Gorton and Denton is then a real test for Keir Starmer, particularly if Labour loses. A candidate will be selected this week. Some think things could move fast.
That means the by-election could come 28th of February, and if it's a bad result for Labour, I think there might be a challenge. It's regrettable because we don't need that right now.
The Prime Minister has asserted his authority. He's moved to stop one possible future challenger. But do others lurk in waiting, with difficult electoral tests ahead?
And Damien Grammaticus is here with me now, and we've had, within the last half hour or so, a reaction from Andy Burnham himself on Twitter.
Yes, I think you were giving a little bit of that just a couple of minutes ago. So Andy Burnham putting out on social media just this little statement saying he's disappointed at the decision, he's concerned about the potential impact, he says, on the important elections ahead of us. So not only this by-election in the Manchester area, but local elections and regional elections around the UK in the middle of the year. And he says to whoever is Labour's candidate, you will have my full support. So trying to sort of play the loyal party card. What's interesting, though, is that we haven't heard him speak. And there are many who will now want to question about this and see, does he want to sort of try to push this and make anything more of it? And I'm sure we'll be, there'll be people chasing him tomorrow.
And just remind us a bit about the calculations that would have gone into the decision-making to block him.
Yes, so this is interesting. So the decision was made by a 10-member group on the national executive of Labour. So this core group, they included the Prime Minister and other very senior figures. 8 of the 10 voted to block him. So it was a pretty overwhelming vote, and they are allies of Keir Starmer, but their reasons are kind of party management reasons, and those are, and I think they think there is merit to these, that you don't want to have an expensive mayoral election in Manchester if Andy Burnham were to move from that job. That would cost maybe £4 million of public money. It would cost the Labour Party money too to defend that, which money it wants to put into other elections. It would risk losing that mayoralty too, which could be risky. So for all of those reasons, I see Andy Burnham's doing a good job. He should stay.
What are the ramifications of that now for Keir Starmer? Because this is quite a big decision, and the reaction has been quite solid, hasn't it?
Yes, reverberations through the Labour Party today. There are some who are certainly outraged, who think that this is a disastrous move that will backfire on him, because he now faces a situation where that by-election, there is real scrutiny on that, and if the candidate Labour now picks loses, then that may impact on the Prime Minister's own authority. So there are some saying he's going into now a difficult election without the best candidate standing, but there are others who say, well, look, this was potentially going to be a whole drama about, is Andy Burnham going to challenge Keir Starmer or not? And they think that voters are sick of that kind of internal political machinations, and they're quite happy that something decisive has been done to stop that happening.
Damien Grammaticus, thank you very much indeed. And we can speak more about this with Sienna Rogers, who's a deputy editor of The House magazine and former editor of Labour List. Thanks for being with us. Just initially, your reaction to the decision to block Andy Burnham.
I wasn't surprised by the decision to block Andy Burnham. I first reported it on Thursday that this was the plan, and a kind of message was quite clearly sent out, I was told, was clearly sent out from the top, saying to allies, the plan is to block him. So it was quite a quick decision, really. I mean, people had known for a long time that as soon as a kind of seat where Burnham would be well placed to try and run as a candidate came up through an MP standing down like Andrew Gwynn has done, that he would, in all likelihood, try to run as Labour's candidate. And I think they had been planning for a long time to block him. Obviously, that's going to cause discontent in various parts of the Labour Party, and it has done. It's just a matter of whether that discontent can be so loud next week that it actually forces some kind of reversal. It seems to me from Andy Burnham's reaction that he's just released that he does accept the blocking has happened, isn't particularly seeking to reverse it, although I know that some allies would like that to happen.
So you say forcing some kind of reversal. Practically, how would they do that? Just hold the vote again? I mean, it would be a sort of huge, another U-turn, wouldn't it? Which might be also damaging.
Absolutely, it would be damaging. I mean, absolutely it would be. And there is no clear mechanism for them to reverse this decision. That I don't think there's any precedent for reversing an NEC officer's decision like this. So it seems unlikely at this point, but it does mean that big hitters like Angela Rayner, now on the backbenches, free to speak her mind. Obviously, Lucy Powell, Labour's deputy leader, who was the only person on the committee to vote in favour of letting Andy Burnham stand. Those kind of people will be very vocal in Westminster next week, it's expected. And
I was just going to ask you, I mean, obviously some of the excitement surrounding this was the potential for him to become a leadership rival, but presumably this decision doesn't insulate the Prime Minister from other rivals coming out of the woodwork, does it?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, if anyone hoped that blocking him would end leadership challenge speculation, then they'll be bitterly disappointed, because that's absolutely not the case. People, even just, minutes after the decision was taken, people around the Prime Minister even talking about how Wes Streeting is now even better positioned than he was before the decision was made to launch some kind of challenge, and there's speculation that perhaps he could make some kind of move like that before May. Now, Wes Streeting's team, to be clear, absolutely deny that and say it's, again, nonsense briefings that they've heard before. They've been briefing it for a long time, and they don't know why the Prime Minister's allies keep doing it. So this kind of Westminster psychodrama that a lot of people said the blocking would end, that's not the case.
Sienna Rogers, thank you very much indeed for your thoughts on the subject. Thank you.